So we have declared the three variables, two as instance variables, one as static variable. Thereafter, we want two methods. One method is for calculating floor area. Other method is for converting floor area SFT into SMT, square feet into square meters. Okay, two methods are required. Let us first consider floor area, calculate floor area. Now, area of the floor area of the room, you know that length and into breadth. So, now you see double floor area. This floor area, just it is a local variable of this method. That point you must remember. Its scope is this much only, from the place of declaration to until it is returned. So you can access it from here only. You cannot access it from anywhere. That point you must remember. Okay, uh, and floor area length into breadth. Thereafter, you are returning the floor area. That's all. Now it gets a life here. It comes into existence here. As soon as it is returned, it dies. That point always you remember. Okay, if you want to retrieve it anyway, try to retrieve it in this method and all that, it cannot get. It cannot get. It is not accessible to that because its scope is there. Its scope is limited to this place. So this method cannot access that. Okay. Thereafter, convert area SFT into SMT. Consider this. Comparatively with this thing, it is having a different nature. That is, it is like a utility service. Some utility service, uh, all objects may use it if they require. So that's why we are declaring it as a static. And then in this, what we are doing, this is the actually uh, SFT to SMT. If you have to convert and all that, this is the fraction 0.929. So this you have to multiply it with that. Then you can convert SFT into SMT. So that we are returning. So in this, two instance variable, one static variable, one instance method, one static method we defined. And one thing I am telling you, in design aspect, you must have a clear picture. Until unless you can conceive, you visualize the entire thing, you don't start writing code. You must, mental work should be over. Thereafter, you should start writing code. Now, then you have to start. So then it will be very clear, and just like how you type text, in the same manner code also you can type. It's not a big thing, but mentally you should have complete clarity. When you can have mental clarity, when you have conceptual understanding, perfect conceptual understanding, then you can have clarity. That's why I'm telling you, without studying concepts, don't come to applications. If you come to this application, you may perform and you may get result. Just you remember and do that. But it is not a permanent thing. You cannot own it. That's why first, why static method, why instance method, all that you should have a clear idea. That's why I am spending this much time to explain each and every concept meticulously. So as a result of that, what happened? This encapsulation happened. This is the classroom. Within the classroom, two instance variables, one static variable, one instance method, one static method are embedded. That you have to understand. Now, after blueprint class is over, then we have to write implementation class definition. So already I told you, I am following this convention room. Implementation class, I am naming it as room demo because it is implementing. Thereafter, this is the main also you must remember that it is a static method. Okay. Thereafter, now this is uh, in the main we are instantiating the object R1. Already many times I explained this. However, once again I try to explain. Now we see R1. This is the object reference. First we have defined the object reference R1. R1, this is room type, and object reference variable is meant for referring, means pointing an object. Object means real thing of the same type. So as a result of this definition, what happens? This is created and it points to null. Where it is created? It is created on stack. What is the specialty of the stack? On stack elements we can give names. On heap oriented elements we cannot give name. That point always you remember. So as a result of that, this is created. Now second part, let's go to second part. Use them separately while understanding concept. However, we write a single statement. So the new is the Java operator. It performs three jobs. First job is it gets the necessary amount of memory allocated on a heap. How much memory is required for an object? You may get it out. Now you see, don't take into consideration of static variable. You take into consideration of length and breadth, because these are instance variables. For each and every object of the room object, these are unique. That's why unique spaces are required. Here these are required, and how much is that? What is the type double? So this is 8 bytes, this is 8 bytes. Totally 16 bytes of memory is allocated on heap for each and every object. That you have to understand. You must quantify that also for your knowledge sake. Okay, so necessary amount of memory was allocated on heap. Second one is new calls the constructor. Actually, if we have to understand constructor is like a initialization method. This in subsequent chapters I will explain. In the meantime, you just abstractly call it as a constructor. What is the constructor method? Don't use the word method, constructor method. What is the purpose of that? It constructs the object. Constructs the object means it initializes the object. So new calls constructor object, it initializes the object immediately with the, because here no values are given. If you give values, with those values the object is initialized, but we didn't give any value. Then it takes the default value of the type. What is the type? Double. What is the default value of the double? 0.0. 0.0. So object is constructed with the default values. Thereafter, now it is like a kite. For this we have to put a string. We have to tie a string. Now third thing is it is having a reference. That reference is assigned to reference variable of the same type. Okay, so as a result of that, what happens? This will point to that. So new perform three jobs. Then as a result of that, you can visualize this one. This is created on heap, this is created on stack. Okay, this is very crucial concept, and you must focus on that. You should not have any doubt. In implementation there is no problem. Here only thing is you must have conceptual understanding. Okay, now our object is initialized with 0.0, 0.0. Now actually we have to give value, otherwise it is meaningless. Now we have to assign the real values of a R1 room. Okay, now how can you initialize this length and breadth of R1? R1 dot length. R1's length is 15. Then where it goes? It goes here. And r1 dot breadth, it goes here. Okay, thereafter you see that. Now find the code. This is declared as static. As a result of that, static means class oriented variable. These are object oriented variables. That's why R1 we have given. This is class oriented variable. Then room dot height. That is the difference. Room dot height is equal to 10. We have to give. So you find the difference of the code. How we are initializing instance variables, how we are initializing static variable. The difference you must understand theoretically. Thereafter, in coding also, you must understand the difference and implement the same.